Hey there, welcome to Main Street Living. I am Cheryl Nelson.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Quincy Carr.
And we're missing Danielle today. It's been impossible to get the three of us together lately, right?
Yeah, but she has a much deserved beginning of her summer break. Like she hasn't taken a week off. I'm just now coming back after 2 weeks. Even got my shirt, my Happy Vibes shirt on and everything. But
Ooh,
much deserved time off for her. But
yes. We
yeah,
do miss her, but Q will hold down the fort today. And as you mentioned, summer, people are traveling, going on vacation, going to camps. We're going to be talking a lot about summer camps today. Did you ever go to summer camp as a kid?
no, I did not. I went to my house. I stayed at my house. We just stayed at the house. Lock the doors. Don't open the doors for anyone. But we take our
Oh my
daughter to a summer
gosh.
camp now. So
I wish I would have gone to camp. I think the only camp I did was a 1-day space camp, and that was actually really exciting. Yeah, you know me, the science geek. I've always been into that type of thing. So that was fun. And your
you look
daughter
like
went
you
to camp.
caused a lot of trouble, though, Cheryl.
Oh, I might look innocent, but yeah, I got in a little bit now. I'm joking. Quincy, we have such a good show today. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about those camps, and we're also going to talk about the power of music.
Oh yeah, and we're getting the true definition of the Juneteenth holiday, and we're also going to visit with a person who's celebrating Pride Month in his own way. But there's also a mega sportsplex out in Arizona you have to see to believe.
Oh my gosh, I want to go there. But first, guys, don't go anywhere because we will meet a famous filmmaker who is making an impact. See who he is next.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Cheryl, I don't know if you know this, but making art is part of being human, right? And
Mhm.
also including myself. Many others may feel like leaving their mark on the world is very important, whether it's comedy, music, writing, or even making movies. So, simply put, art is a way to express ourselves and make our voices heard, right?
Oh, absolutely. And our next guest knows that every one of us has a voice, Quincy, and a perspective that matters. And sometimes people just need a platform and some direction to realize how to get their voice out there. Please welcome actor, filmmaker, and founder of Inclusion Films, Joey Travolta, and Inclusion Films editor, Bryce Jackson. Welcome to Main Street Living. Such a treat to have you both here.
Well, thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Joey, I'm going to start with you. You started Inclusion Films in 2007. Tell us exactly what does Inclusion Films do?
Uh, Inclusion Films is a practical film workshop that takes adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities through the whole process of making a film. We teach camera, lighting, editing, acting, writing, everything. And the point of that is to get people work in the film industry. And Bryce here, who we also do camps, which we're going to go over in another segment. But Bryce was a former camper, and that's how we introduced him in a 2-week program to the film business. And so that's why it's exciting for me, because he was a camper and now he works for me, and that met my goal. So
Well, so Joey, why did you decide to start this organization?
I was a special ed teacher
Hmm.
back in 1970. I don't even want to say what year it was, but a long time ago. And I was always for the underdog. This is from my father. My dad was an inclusive man, hence the name of my company, Inclusion Films. And he was always thought it was important that somebody had a seat at the table. And I started as a special ed teacher, and then I went into music, and then I went into acting, and then directing and producing. And I always wanted to get back to special ed. And while I was directing, I was getting young folks out of USC and UCLA and big film schools that didn't know their way around the set.
Mm.
I learned filmmaking from being an actor and being on the set and wanting to know what everybody did. And so around 2006, 2007, we came up with the program, and we were doing camps before that with kids on the autism spectrum. And it's just widened. And we have 7 studios around the state of California. So
That is awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And the hands-on learning, I think that is so important too, just to dive in there and see everything and do things firsthand. And Bryce, I know you've gone through the Inclusion Films workshops and you're now an employee. So why did you get involved with Inclusion Films and what have you learned during your time there?
So it's like Joey said, I was a camper. I was in the 2009 film camp, and in high school, I was a big sports fan. I really wanted to play sports. I wanted to be a professional hockey player. But when I started taking video production classes, that's when I got introduced to the film side of it. And after I got out of high school, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I heard that Inclusion Films had a big program for adults. So I enrolled there, and I was a student for 4 years until Joey and Dale decided to say, hey, we're going to bring you on as a full-time employee. And, it kind of went through there. So.
Yeah, I mean, like Joey was just talking about you, Bryce, being a student of his. Now, Joey, what kinds of productions do you do with the workshops with your staff?
Well, basically what it is, and we do the same thing in the camps, they create a 20 to 30 minute script that becomes the lesson plan. Mm-hmm. While they learn all the camera, lighting, all those things, we develop a script. During that time, they make their own individual 2-minute films, but the one big film becomes the thesis film. And they could be anything from comedy to action. And every 6 months, we make a short film, and we have our own platform, Inclusion Networks, where people can see this and see the different work that they do. But in 2000, what year, 17 was it?
17,
We made our first feature film. No, 2019 it was released. Carol of the Bells, where 70% of the crew was made up of folks that we had trained, which that's really, really cool. And now we have the production company. And when we go out on the road, in this particular camp, we have 6 folks that have been through the program that are on the road, traveling, getting per diem, getting paid, and honing their craft. So
nice.
That's so amazing. And these workshops, where are they and how can people sign up and get involved? And are there other ways to get involved with Inclusion Films?
Yeah, so we have programs, and Bakersfield is the main one. That's Inclusion Films. Then my partner, Futures Explored, they're in Livermore, in Sacramento and Stockton, which is where we're at right now. And then Options for All is my other partner, and they're in San Diego, they're in San Bernardino, and in San Jose. So we have 7 territories, which is great because all the production that we get around the state, whenever we get a job, I can pull talent from the different studios because we have the setup there. We have pros there with our young folks that are learning their craft.
So many fun ways for people to get involved. And we have so much more to talk about with you guys. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break here on Main Street Living, but stay with us. We'll come back and talk about the Inclusion Films summer camps coming up next.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Thanks for coming back with us. Before the break, we were talking with Joey Travolta. He's the founder of Inclusion Films, and we got a little bit of the background about the organization. Now let's delve a little bit deeper into the summer camps. Joey, welcome to the show. I see you have a few campers there with you. Can you introduce us to them?
Yes, we have Katelyn here.
Hi.
Okay, and then we have Sophia.
Hi.
And this is Sophia's second time and Katelyn's first time. So, yeah.
Awesome. Welcome to Main Street Living, ladies. You both look excited to be here.
I know they do. And it's so cool to be a part of this, going to a summer camp, but inclusion film summer camps. Joey, what exactly is involved in this? It sounds like it's a lot of work, but it also sounds like fun and a great opportunity.
Yeah, so it's a filmmaking camp. So the first thing that we do, we usually have 50 kids. We split them into 3 groups. Each group is responsible for making a short film. We usually have a theme. This year's theme is Pass It On, and that's doing good and kind things. So their film's got to revolve around that. Once we break them up, I start taking one at a time. I interview every one of the campers. Then on day 4, they have to pitch their projects, kind of like Project Greenlight, and I have to approve it. And sometimes I can be tough, and no, I'm never tough. Anyway, then they start making their films. They each get a day and a half to make their films, and then we do the wraparound. The wraparound is the Pass It On show. We have a host that interviews the kids and introduces the film. So the final product is a half-hour documentary and a half-hour show that'll be called Pass It On. And that's
Wow.
basically what it is.
Nice, nice. Well, Katelyn, I have to talk to you for a second because you've only been at the camp for a couple of days, but you're clearly learning from one of the best. What are you liking about this so far?
I love all the things that they have taught me. They've taught me multiple things to do with the cameras, which I didn't know before I even came, how to cut, when the lighting is good, when the lighting is bad. I've learned a lot from just in 2 days that I didn't know before I even came. So this is a great opportunity. If I never even expected to go into acting until I saw this opportunity. And it's an amazing opportunity that I'm glad I took on. So, yeah.
Good.
Look
Yeah.
at this, Joey and your team. You're inspiring everybody. I love to see that. And Sophia, I want to go over to you. You're my girl in pink. We're matchy today, which I love. We're on the same wavelength here. And have you been to this camp before? And if so, what have you learned and what's different this time?
I've been in this camp since last year during my fall break. What was different, it was about the questions being asked by Mr. Travolta that was asked
Well,
last year.
can I just say that she has a beautiful voice, and in the interview, I asked her to sing, and then we ended up putting music on it. So after this is all done, we have a red carpet screening where the families come and the teachers come, and it's a big event. It's really cool, and I was so proud of her with the singing, and your family was too, no?
Yeah, they were.
So, Joey, I have to ask you this. I mean, like 2
Yeah.
weeks doesn't seem like a lot of time, but how much can campers learn in that time frame?
Well, it's not so much. It's more the fun part of it, of being creative.
Mhm.
Everything is introduced to them. This is almost like an appetizer for continuing on to the adult program. And whether you're going to be a filmmaker or not, it's the soft skills that you come away from with filmmaking, because you collaborate, you communicate, you're given a voice, you get to create something, and then you get to see it with your family, and you have that, your whole life, you have that to share with people. So it's a powerful tool, whether you go into filmmaking or not.
Awesome.
And speaking of going into filmmaking, Katelyn, I know that you seem very passionate about this as well. Do you want to go into film as a career, or what are you thinking right now?
Yes, I want to go into acting, but definitely whatever position I'm put in, I'm totally positive about, because I've learned so much from just a couple days in this camp, and I'm so into it, and it's so literally inspiring from what I've just learned, and how everyone is included, and everyone has, even if it's a little part, you always have a big part in the long run. So you're always included, no matter what, no matter whatever you have, you always include it. So that's something I love personally.
Yeah, and I love the fact, even if it's a little part, you still have a big part. In the grand scheme of it. Joey, we definitely have to wrap up, but a couple of questions for you. Where are the summer camps this year? Okay, and is there still time to sign up? And also, how can viewers get more information about Inclusion Films workshops?
Well, this camp is Lodi Unified at McNair High School. The next one is in Livermore, California, with my partners, Futures Explored. And then the third one is going to be with Solano County, and that's going to be on Mare Island. I think they're pretty much all full up, unfortunately. But, if they go to our website, inclusionfilms.com, they can always find out more information about that.
Awesome.
For sure. Yeah, you're a popular guy, and these are popular camps. So, ladies, I wish you the best of luck with your camp, and I can't wait to see what comes out of this. Thank you all so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, Quincy, we know theater and film are super important. So is music in our lives, right? But how much do you really know about the power of music and what it can do to people? We'll find out next. Welcome back to Main Street Living. Quincy, music is everywhere in our lives, whether we play an instrument, sing in the shower, sing in the car like I do, or listen to our favorite tunes throughout the day.
Yeah, I know I always listen to my tunes anytime I work out, but music has such a powerful way to uplift our mood, reduce stress, and even raise creativity. And Cheryl, there are studies that even show music makes us smarter. I could be getting smart.
That explains it. Okay, so the National Association of Music Merchants, or NAMM, N-A-M-M, recently held their annual convention in Anaheim, California. Here's a look inside this very harmonious event.
It's phenomenal to be back.
NAMM is just this great gathering of people from the industry. It's a way for us to combine all of our energies. It's so collaborative.
It's refreshing. This is where we come to meet people, see the emotion, connect with everyone, and that was missing for so long.
Well, NAMM it's the gathering place for all the manufacturers in the musical world. Pick your category of instruments, from brass and school instruments to pianos, guitars, drums, and more. This is where all the manufacturers and the distribution channels, music dealers from around the world gather to come here and talk about making music. The music industry is like family, so it's been difficult to be away from everybody for the last 2 years. But now we're back here in Anaheim, and it just feels great to see everybody again and talk about music again.
We're at the NAMM show here, very excited about our new models. Our main thing is carbon fiber, and it all started when I was in high school and college, taking my guitar everywhere and beating up my wood guitar. In the back of my mind, I was always thinking there's got to be a better way to have a guitar that won't get beat up. To avoid that dilemma, we make carbon fiber guitars, and they're durable, they're reliable. You don't have to keep them in the case, they can always be out.
Really fun to look at all different guitars and different musical instruments. It's they're really diverse and different. So you kind of get see different things from ukuleles to different types of guitars, electric, acoustic, even drum set.
So for us at Positive Grid, coming here, it's a way to talk to customers, get their reactions, really build upon, what we've been doing, in the virtual world and bringing it into reality.
I think it's attended quite well. Our booth has been packed, and I've walked around and I've seen a lot of people, and they're excited. You know, people I haven't seen for a long time, or just new folks that I haven't met before are excited.
I don't think there's anything like it because we bring almost our full line, and it's one of the only places where that's available to go through and really find an individual instrument. Because, you know, instruments and music really is a personal thing, and finding that one that fits what you want it's hard to do anywhere else.
We're aspiring DJs. At least I am. She's a DJ too. Both. We're just checking out equipment and just seeing what else is out here, music-wise.
Yeah. It's really beneficial to be here as well as online. I mean, to get people to come and experience the products in person is really fun. It's great to meet with the media and the retailers and everybody out in the world. But we've also had a focus at this NAMM show to just generate a ton of content that we'll be pushing out and just really look at the NAMM show from all angles, all possibilities. So, you know, it's not just about being here, which is a great thing, it's a great energy, but it's about what can we do around it and how can we expand on that.
We're just looking forward to NAMM next year as well. Looks like April, and we're already making plans for that one.
Wow, Cheryl, those are some pretty interesting instruments they had on hand, right? You see that guitar?
I'd be all over those. Give me one of those. I'd be touching this and that. They'd have to get me away from all of those. But you can find out more information about the National Association of Music Merchants on their website, namm.org.
That's right. Well, coming up, we're digging into a little history, and we'll actually find out what you all need to know about Juneteenth right after the break.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Quincy, summer holidays like Memorial Day and the 4th of July are times that we gather with family and friends and remember people or events that have shaped our country, right?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, Cheryl, last year we gained a new summer holiday, Juneteenth. It's celebrated on June 19th. So what exactly is Juneteenth all about, right? Well, lucky for us, we have Dr. Teresa Ford here to enlighten us and share a lot of what a lot of people don't know. So welcome to Main Street Living, Dr. Ford.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
No problem. No problem. Last weekend, we celebrated the newest federal holiday called Juneteenth. Now, I'm from Texas, so we've known about it in Texas, but a lot of other people didn't. And I think we've all heard the word, but how many others are not really quite sure what it means, right? So can you just start us off with a little elevator version of what we're celebrating on June 19th?
Absolutely. Elevator version. We're celebrating the freedom of all people. And I'm going to say it that way because without June 19th, which had excluded some enslaved Africans, or some call them slaves, they weren't included in that July 4th document. So we are celebrating the freedom of all people, of all Americans. And we are celebrating the fact that in Texas, that holiday, June 19th, June 19th, 1865, is what we are paying reverence to. And June 19th is like a precursor to the July 4th holiday.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So did the story actually start with the founding of our country in 1776? Explain the correlation there.
Did the story start there? I would say that that's okay to say that the story started there. 1776, the Declaration of Independence from Great Britain. We are a young country. So that document is extremely important. But for all, when reading the document, especially going to that second paragraph where it says, it is self-evident in so many words, that we hold these truths that all men are created equal and they are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, the rights among them of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So in 1776, we know that in this country, chattel slavery, the bondage of human beings, was alive and well. So when we read that, it is not including everyone. So yes, we can say that it started there, but I will also add that sometimes we start our history there. And maybe I can answer or make comments on this question a little bit later on, but for sure, the documents of the United States, we're going to start in 1776.
Wow. You mentioned history, right? So I remember in history classes, we were taught that slaves were freed by the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. So is that what actually happened?
Yes, we were taught that. You were taught that. I was taught that. Probably all of America was taught that. And it's how can I say, it's a misnomer. But let's take a look at that document. Let's take a look at that document real quickly here. So in that document, it says from Abraham Lincoln that he says, on the first day of January, in the year of our Lord, 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall be in rebellion against the United States, shall then henceforth and forever be free. So the key word there is states in rebellion. So we have to remember that Abraham Lincoln wanted the Union to stay together. So he was really pushing as a politician to the Confederate States, if you will, that if you secede from the Union, this is what's going to happen because you are in rebellion. There were states in the North, slave states, slavery existed, but they were not in rebellion. So to say that that document freed the slaves, not really. But it's easy to say that because that's what we do sometimes. We just kind of say things and we read, we skim.
Right.
But when we really look at that document, the states in rebellion, and then there are more stories to follow regarding the Emancipation Proclamation.
I can imagine.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You know so much history there and knowledge. I wish we had more time to talk with you about all of this, but Juneteenth, a very important holiday. Tell us before we go, why is it important to honor this holiday? And I'm so glad now that it's federally recognized.
Absolutely. Because it is so important, again, because it now pulls in everyone, we the people. It now includes those African Americans, not only in Texas, who received the information 2 months after the Civil War ended, at least that's one date that we have, which was in April of 1865. And some will say 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation and prior to the 13th Amendment, which is truly the document, Amendment 13, that is the document that abolishes slavery. So it is important that we recognize all Americans. It is important that we read our documents. It is important that all are able to celebrate. Frederick Douglass asked the question, what to the slave is the 4th of July? Well, June 19th is kind of an answer to that. So it's a celebration of freedom for all. It is a time to get with family. It's just a lovely time. Sometimes we celebrate for no reason. Here's a great reason, because we are all Americans and we all want to celebrate we the people.
Oh,
Beautifully said, Dr. Ford.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Dr. Ford, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. You're such a treat.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, well, stay with us here on Main Street Living. We're doing all kinds of celebrating, and coming up next, we're going to celebrate Pride with an amazing scientist. Welcome back to Main Street Living. Great show today, Quincy. And June is also Pride Month, when the world's LGBTQ plus communities come together and celebrate the freedom to be themselves.
That's right, the freedom to be themselves. It's actually 1 month dedicated to uplifting the voices, celebrating the culture, and supporting the rights of the LGBTQ plus communities.
But don't forget that the LGBTQ plus community is made up of people, individuals who make a huge impact on our society and our neighborhoods every day. People like Michael Rodriguez. Take a look.
Even as a kid, I think running was always the thing that I enjoyed doing the most. I work at Janssen, Research and Development, which is part of Johnson & Johnson, and I am a scientist there. So I primarily work in immunology, biology, and drug discovery. So my work entails very early on research in terms of medications or potential medications. Even from a young age, science always interested me. It was always something that I had a passion for, just a natural, curiosity. And I wanted to just understand how things work. That's sort of the nice thing that I like about science. It's very collaborative. I mean, we're all building on other people's work. So we're always researching, we're always learning more, and that's the exciting thing about science. I mean, your work never really stops. Once you think you've learned everything you can, there might be something new coming around the corner. I think that fits in exactly with what we call the credo, the Johnson & Johnson credo. The main purpose of all the work that we do at the company, it's primarily for the patients, for the communities. I was born in San Diego, and my parents wanted us to be born in San Diego as a U.S. citizen, to have opportunities here for later on in life, but they wanted us to be close to our roots. I grew up in Tijuana, and that was literally 20 minutes away from where I was born. I had the opportunity to move between the two countries without any issues and basically have that culture that Mexico has to offer, which is very rich, very community-oriented. I feel privileged to be in the situation and to be in the position that I'm in with the group that I'm in. I learned about what an Ironman triathlon was. And at first I thought it was just insane. I was like, there's no way that's humanly possible. I'll just train for it and I'll sign up and see what happens. And then in 2014, I managed to complete my first full Ironman triathlon. It reminds me so much of science because no one's going to just give you the answers. I mean, the whole point of what we're doing is we're achieving and we're trying to solve things that haven't really either been thought of before or haven't been able to get done before. You have to have this tenacity to keep going after it, keep digging just a little more and see what you can uncover and how can that be useful to achieve what you want to get. My family, friends, and professional career, everything sort of lined up in one place. So I just recently got married with my husband, Ryland. It's been a joy to just be with him, and then with Max, with his son, and just we're all one big happy family. And it's my wish for the future. I want to continue doing the work that I'm doing, be able to bring options for people and help communities through generations basically achieve their goals too. We all had childhood dreams of doing something, so being able to at least get one of those and continue doing it and pursuing it right now as my full-on professional career, it's exciting.
Oh, Quincy, he was like me. He liked science from a young age. He knew that's what he wanted to do. Love that. But the triathlon, you wouldn't see me doing that part. Kudos to him.
Yeah, I can definitely say great story of accomplishing things and expanding your mind. And when it comes to expanding your mind, up next after the break, you got to stick around because who needs a place to play? Me. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Cheryl, I have to ask, remember when you were growing up and it was really cool if you had a basketball court or even a little league field close to your house?
Oh, yes. I was out there all the time. I played softball. It was so much fun. And those were the days when you always had a place to meet up with your friends and play.
That's right. Well, if you live near Mesa, Arizona, then you have hit the jackpot. When I say the jackpot, I'm saying they have a major mega sportsplex, the Bell Bank Park, in your backyard, right there in your backyard. Check this out.
Welcome to Bell Bank Park. I'm Brett Miller, president of Legacy Sports USA here at Bell Bank Park, standing on the largest sports and family entertainment park in the country at 320 acres, over 20 different sporting departments, the largest bar restaurant in the state of Arizona, a full arcade center, 2 zip lines, a trust fall, golf simulation going in the month of May. This park continues to evolve based on the customer feedback that we continue to receive. Mesa, we landed a perfect area with 320 acres with a ton of housing around us. The average household has 3 kids in the area, which we cater from youth all the way to adults. So with the city growing, we figured this would be the best place for us to be. So the park consists of over 20 different sports, from pickleball, cheer, dance, gymnastics. We have arcade. We're going to start incorporating esports. And then, like I talked about entertainment, we are rolling out a series of concerts coming up. And then we have everything from the traditional sports world, pickleball, basketball, football, soccer, lacrosse. You name it, it's all here at Legacy Sports USA at Bell Bank Park. Anybody and everyone benefits from this type of facility, all the way from the little ones that are 1, 2 years old, all the way up to 75 years old. We have them competing in pickleball. We actually have one that's in the Ninja Warrior as well. So grandparents come out, kids come out. This place is meant for anybody and everybody. Health and fitness is a big component to what we do at the park here. We have a general fitness membership model, just like you'd see in LA Fitness and Lifetime Fitness. So when the parents come here and they drop their kids off during the weeknights to practice, what do they do to stay busy? Well, you can actually have a gym membership pass here and work out while you're waiting. The other side of it is our 24,000 square feet, one of the largest in the country, performance training institutes ran by former decathlete Olympian Dan O'Brien, who won the 96 games and 4-time world champion. At Bell Bank Park, there's a number of events that we're going to be hosting throughout the year. Go to bellbankpark.com events page, continue to follow us. We have Cirque Mechanics coming up, which is like a Cirque du Soleil on our Tixer Great Lawn. So you'll see the big tent out there. We do have Arizona Strong Beer Festival. The Taco Festival's coming here from Scottsdale. This year, we're also going to be working on 3 different large national country acts that have top of the chart songs. And then as well, we have a Christmas light display that are going to be 10 acres carved out on our festival space for 44 days, which is going to be super, super awesome, and Santa Claus will be there. Right now, we're currently looking at expansion, one into Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and the other one in McKinney, Texas. So there will be 3 of these facilities across the country. This will be our headquarters at Bell Bank Park in Mesa, Arizona. Parents, grandparents, anybody with kids, we have you this summer. Check out our website for more information for all of our summer camps coming up. We can't wait to see you. We've got air conditioning. We'll take care of your kids. Please go online, register for our summer camps. For more information on Bell Bank Park, please visit us online or follow us on social media. We look forward to seeing you out here.
Quincy, that's it. Road trip. We're going to get Danielle and we're going to go play there. We're going to go when there's a good concert. They said adults can have fun there too. So I am in.
Oh yeah, Cheryl, we've missed you so much and hearing your travel bug vibes. But for the other folks that want to travel and visit, you can get more information about this amazing sports and entertainment complex in Arizona at bellbankpark.com.
All right, don't go anywhere. More Main Street Living coming up next.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Cheryl, we have come to the end of the show. What a great show it was, of course. And if you guys missed this show or missed any of our other episodes, you can always remember, you can find us on our Cox Contour app. And Danielle, enjoy your day off.
Yes, Quincy, we are everywhere. And then hopefully next week, all three of us will be back together, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And we've got brand new episodes of Main Street Living Mondays, 9 p.m. local time. So make sure you check your calendar, make a note, and take another stroll down Main Street with us.